Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I had a question that basically, a couple of questions actually. The first one was, if I'm not at the goal that I want to be at, should I buy silver right now? A lot of people are freaking out, want to get some more silver before we see that moonshot that everybody is hearing about on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers right now are saying, hurry up and pick up some silver right now before it just absolutely blows up in price and the price skyrockets, and then you won't be able to get any, or you'll be paying hundreds of dollars an ounce. And I always laugh when I hear this stuff. And you know, it's funny because I can't even really make a video on this topic because people that watch my videos know that I don't believe it's going to happen like that. And if I make the video like that, I get told it's clickbait. Even though I put the disclaimer at the very beginning, this is the kind of stuff that people are clicking on to watch. It does get huge views, but it's unrealistic. I'm going to show you guys today, in today's video, what we have seen in previous years on why there is absolutely no way I would put in my order right now for gold or silver unless I had none. I would have to have none. Now, if I've got some and I want to acquire more, I wouldn't put my order in. I know people have commented what you've said before, you're not buying right now because you already have yours, so you're not worried. And that's true. I can't change my position on where I'm at right now. I'm not at all worried because I already have mine. However, I'm telling you what I would do if I didn't have enough or I didn't have any. Now, like I said, it's hard to say. If I didn't have any silver whatsoever, I'd probably just bite the bullet and eat some, buy some, you know. So, but here's the thing. I'm going to show you in a minute why I think we're going to see, one, the dip again, why we're already seeing it play out, just people ain't seeing it in the spot price yet, and I'm going to show you what happened 4th of July weekend last year, the year before, every year, how we see the 4th of July deals. I'll even give you a quick preview before I start talking about this. As you can see right here, I typed in 4th of July silver sales. Scroll down here, 2004. If you look at, where did I just see it? Hold on. If you look at previous years, they're always running deals at the lowest prices right here. Independence Day deals 2024. Lowest prices, 4th of July deals at lowest prices at SD Bullion, lowest prices at AtMax, lowest. Everybody runs deals on 4th of July weekend. That's right around the corner. I would wait. It only makes sense. I had someone else leave me a comment. If it was so easy, why wouldn't everybody just wait and buy silver when it dips at the end of a financial quarter? I don't know why. But we see it time and time again. You're going to see it again here shortly. How bad of a dip will it be? I don't know. Keep in mind what's happening right now. We're not seeing silver come down drastically, but we are seeing it creep. And once you realize that, let's take a look at the last 3 days. Blue line being Monday. Blue line being Tuesday. Wednesday, red line. Now we're coming in on the green line, which is Thursday today. Granted, I'm filming this video at midnight, so you don't see much of it. But each day, it's a little bit lower. I wouldn't be surprised to see us hit $25 and change some point today or tomorrow, with the end of the week closing out really just under $26 somewhere. And then we got the Fed meeting next week. Keep in mind the Fed meeting, they're going to make the dollar look a little stronger. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Help me out. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people that follow the channel have said, I agree with you, T. I'm going to wait and I'm going to buy at the end of the month. You got to understand, everybody has motivation. Everybody has a reason for doing something. It doesn't matter what it is. You invite a girl out to dinner. What's your reason? Well, your reason is you want to hang out with her a little bit more. You want a relationship with her, maybe. Who knows? Maybe you just want to, I don't know. I shouldn't say it the way I was just thinking it. It might be inappropriate. But needless to say, everybody has a reason. People that are sponsored by big metals companies, they have a reason to promote. They have a reason to promote sales. I have a reason to tell you to hold. I am out for your best interest, your personal best interest. I don't make any money off of anything. The only thing I make money on is the little commercials that pop up throughout the videos. And it's a very small amount. I mean, I've got to have, I think, 1,000 commercials pop up, and I get paid right now $13 for every 1,000 commercials that gets played. Not much. I do it because I enjoy it, even though it does get frustrating at times. So special thank you to all of our members. I do make a couple dollars off the memberships. Memberships cost $1.99, but every month you have a chance at winning a really cool prize, always minimum of 1 ounce of silver. Last month we gave out 3 ounces of silver. A month before we gave out 2 ounces of silver. It's different every month, but it's always a minimum of 1 ounce. And a lot of that's based off how many commercials get watched and stuff. Okay, so jumping in right off the bat, we just covered the silver real quick. Silver sitting here right now trading at $36.28 as it is creeping downward. It's creeping downward. Gold right now trading at $3,368, moving up slowly, but I do think we're going to see a beat down in gold. However, like I've said, gold has been doing a good job holding. Gold has already taken a beat down, and silver has had a nice run up. And therefore, it ain't going to take much to really drop the silver price as much as it will to drop the gold price. You won't see the gold price drop a whole lot. Silver price, honestly, my guess will be down in the $32 to $33 range, somewhere between $32 and $33 before the month comes to an end. How bad? Could it go worse? Yes, it could, but I wouldn't hold out too long. If you hold out too long, you're getting greedy. When the price starts coming down, you're going to have YouTubers saying just the opposite. Don't buy. It could go a lot lower. We don't know how low it's going to go. At that point, I'm convinced metals companies don't want to see you buying at that point. They don't want to see you buying because they know you'll buy when it jumps back up again. But if they don't sell, it looks bad. I have one friend that I let him pick up some of my stuff at essentially what I pay. And when the price comes down, I told him I can't pick anything up right now, so I'm not selling. He got mad. I said, hey, what can I say? I'm not going to sell my personal stack at a loss. It doesn't make sense. And if I can't pick nothing up right now, then that's it. So I expect we're going to see the prices come down. Gold, I don't think we're going to see a big beat down. I mean, we might see $3,200. It might get down to $3,180. I mean, but that's not a big drop. We can pull that recovery in 1 week, which I do think will happen. I think the recovery on gold and silver is going to happen in the first half of the new month, so July. Keep in mind, though, July kicks off 4th of July weekend, and not much is going to be open, especially the trading, gold and silver trading, which means you won't really see the price moving a whole lot that weekend. You might see a little bit in overseas trading. You won't on Friday night. You won't on Saturday night. You won't on Sunday. Come Sunday night, you might in overseas markets. But I don't know exactly what day the 4th of July falls on, but you have to take that in consideration. Like I said, 4th of July weekend, every company does some sort of deals. I would not even be surprised. This is not an endorsement for SD Bullion. I would not be surprised to see SD Bullion giving away 1 ounce at spot price on the 4th of July or the Independence weekend or whatever days it falls on. I should look at a calendar to see, but I'd be willing to bet SD Bullion is going to have some kind of spot price deal. Why? Because they give something at spot every year. Sometimes they even give a gold coin at spot price, one, and usually the one that they have the most of. Awesome opportunities. Pick up some stuff at spot. Here's the thing. If silver doesn't go down, let's say hypothetically silver don't go down, or silver plunges the last week of the month and then pops right back up in the first couple days of the new month, and we don't see the 4th of July, the dip coincide with the 4th of July weekend. I actually know someone that bought 4 monster boxes on a 4th of July weekend. I helped them do it. They bought 4 monster boxes, 2 monster boxes of Eagles and 2 monster boxes of generics. He happened to get the, 500 ounces of the Aztec Warrior from Provident Metals. And that at that point, it was $15 that weekend when he bought it. He got it at 29 cents an ounce over spot for the premium, and spot was down to like $15. That's pretty crazy. That was probably about, 7 years ago now. Kind of crazy when you think of how quick it's changed. But it's going to keep escalating. Just like when something's going up, it's starting to pick up momentum. Just like a snowball rolling down a mountain. Starts out as a snowball, but then it starts growing and growing and growing and growing. That's going to be what's happening to the silver price very shortly. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. Taking a quick look at what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin down about $1,000, trading right now at 107,717. Technically, it's down $2,000 since my video yesterday morning, but we're just going by what the chart says for today. Taking a quick look at the DXY, down pretty good since we were at 99.19, I think, yesterday. So we are seeing this start to crumble. Why do I think that's important? Because as this continues to crumble, you have to understand they're going to have to strengthen this up a little bit. Let's take it out year to date. This is so far this year. Tell me this ain't looking interesting. You had you had the DXY at 109.96. That's basically 110. Down pretty much 10%, you might as well say, actually even more, as we're sitting at 98.4. As this is going down, the dollar is looking weaker and weaker, and it's causing precious metals to go up. However, this week with the Fed meeting, I think they're going to give it a little prop up, a little pump up. What do I mean by that? Take a look at what we did here. We had a Fed meeting. We had the DXY before at 98. Wow, 98.28. That's almost where we're at now. And then they started creeping it up as the meeting was going on. And obviously the day of the meeting, pretty much we had it really jump up. Is it huge? No, it's not a huge jump up, but we've seen it start working its way up. Here we are now, another meeting. I would not be surprised to see another pump up, only to see it come down shortly after. People are getting away from U.S. Treasury bonds. They're getting away from the dollar. People are starting to see what's happening. We're having tensions escalate. A lot going on right now, and it's scaring people. Taking a quick look at the Dow Jones real quick. We got the Dow Jones trading at 42,865. Pretty well flat for the day. Not really any breakdown in that yet. However, NASDAQ down 0.5% or 99 points, closing out the day at 19,615. You can see it is dropping. It also has been seeing, it's been interesting because they call it the NASDAQ, but there's only a handful of stocks that's controlling the NASDAQ price. And it's kind of funny because when there's a handful of stocks controlling the majority of the NASDAQ, what does that mean? That means it's easy to control the NASDAQ itself. You just control those stocks. Moving on to the S&P 500. S&P 500 down 0.25%, negative 16.5 points, closing out at $6,022. Taking a quick look at the debt clock, as we like to look at this every day because I'm kind of excited to see when we're going to hit 37 trillion. Maybe I should throw a party here on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. But 37 trillion, it's right around the corner. I said it would probably happen on the 20th in almost every video. I've said that. I still think it's going to happen right around the 20th. You have to understand this number is escalating. As we go deeper and deeper in the hole, the interest is compounding. You're paying debt on the principal, debt on the interest, and the number is getting bigger and bigger, which means the interest payments are getting bigger and bigger, which means this number is growing faster and faster. There's no end in sight. That's why a lot of people are getting scared of what's going on with the government, with the debt, and essentially with the DXY and the dollar. But remember, the DXY may be going down, but the dollar is going down even faster. Why is that? Because every fiat currency in the world is going down in price. If we're all jumping out of a plane and I'm falling faster because maybe I'm bigger than everybody, who knows? I'm just falling faster. At the end of the day, you have to understand, it doesn't matter. We're all going to go to zero. We're all going to hit the ground at some point. Doesn't matter who hits it first. However, some people think because the dollar is not falling as fast, I don't know, maybe it's just gliding down, but it's still going to crash at the bottom. Then essentially they think, oh, well, the dollar's a safe haven because it's not coming down as fast. It doesn't matter. It's coming down. Gold and silver are going up. People are recognizing that. Once again, I can't stress this enough. The question came in, why shouldn't I buy now? Here's the thing. We have the potential short position that has to be cleared by the end of the second financial quarter. For those of you that don't know what a short position is, a short position means you're basically borrowing ounces and you're selling it on the market. But they're not borrowing it in like 1 or 2 ounces. They're borrowing it in the millions of ounces. You take 100 million ounces of silver and borrow it from somebody, sell it onto the market. What does that do to the price? It plunges the price lower. And then they borrow more. They plunge the price lower and lower. Once the price is low enough, they can clear out the previous short positions. I'll give you an example. 1 million ounces that you shorted 3 months ago, and here's the truth. They shorted it. They started the shorting around $33 down to $31. If they shorted it 1 million ounces at $33 and we're at 36 right now, in short, that would basically be $3 million because you have 1 million multiplied by the $3 jump. That's not 1 million. That would be 1 million for every $1. But here's the thing. They're not shorting just 1 million ounces. They're shorting a lot of ounces. Millions. Tens of millions. Borderline 100 million. I can't even remember what the last position was. I heard something like 300 million ounces. The short position continues to grow. Don't quote me on any specific because I don't know what the exact short position is right this minute. You can actually go and look that up, though. But every ounce at $1 essentially is costing them hundreds of millions of dollars. So if they can borrow even more this quarter, sell it onto the market, push the price back down to cover those $31, $32, and $33 short positions from 3 months ago, they break even. However, they kick the can down the road. They got to do it again in 3 months from now. When they do that, they beat the price down. Now, what are they going to do in the end? Eventually, you can't keep borrowing from Paul or robbing Paul to pay Peter. What they think is going to happen eventually, the economy will collapse. We will see a major downturn in the economy, which could plunge the price of silver temporarily along with everything else. At that point, they're hoping they can cover all the short positions that are out there and then let the silver price run. Or they will take those short positions, forward it over to another company or forward the assets over another company and then bankrupt somebody holding that huge short position. Will that happen? Who knows how that will play out? That's not what's important. What's important is the short positions that have to cover before the month comes to an end. They're looking for a dip, and if they don't get the dip, they will create one. Someone made a comment to me. They need to do an investigation if silver goes down to $32. Here's the thing. They've done plenty of investigations. People have gotten fined plenty of times. I think the largest fine right now is, was it 100 million or almost $1 billion? Let's see. We'll find out real quick together right now. Let's pull it up. I already know what it is. It's JPMorgan. JPMorgan, largest fine ever paid for spoofing metals. Is it $920 million? Boom. The CFTC orders JPMorgan to pay a record $920 million for spoofing. I don't know exactly. Yeah, for spoofing and manipulation. So they manipulated the price down, they paid the money, and they looked at that as a drop in the bucket. $920 million, it doesn't matter because of the amount of money they're making by manipulating the silver price. There have been plenty of investigations, and there's going to be plenty more. Once you understand that, it doesn't really matter. All you can do is get on their coattails. I had someone say, it's corrupt that they do that, and here you are using that to your advantage. So first of all, I'm not the one doing it. I wish I had $920 million to just throw away on a fine because I'm making that much money. However, if they manipulate it down $2-3, I'll be ready to put my order in at the end of the month. I'm ready now, but unfortunately, it ain't dipped. I'm not going to pay these high prices. A lot of YouTubers are telling you right now, go out and buy right now before you miss the boat. You miss the boat. You miss the boat. And then the price comes down. And you know what? These people still get watched. And it drives me nuts. Now, I'm not saying everybody is like that. I'm not saying every YouTuber is doing that. It's just frustrating when essentially they get a ton of views. But I'll be honest, some of their videos are a little more technical advanced than mine. Mine are just kind of basic with a computer. In fact, I don't even know how to pause a video. So if I say something bad, I basically have to start the whole video over and film it again. If I say something wrong or inappropriate or mistaken. And that's why you might hear me correct myself a lot of times, because I'm not going to go back and remake the whole video because I accidentally said $26 silver when I meant say 36. Everybody should know the price of silver right now is 36. And if I slip up and say 26, it's because we have been stuck in the 20s for so long because of the manipulation that has been taking place that every now and then I do still say it. I actually was selling someone some silver one day, and I said, you know what, man? I'll give it to you at spot price because I like you. $26. And he's like, $26, really? And I said, why you say that? It's spot price. And he goes, you mean 36? And I said, oh, yeah, 36. I'm sorry. And so it does happen, you know. But needless to say, I want people to understand. I don't want to see you guys get burned. I want you to get every ounce you can get out of them. I want you to make it hurt at the end of the month. You squeeze a few extra ounces into your stack, and it takes it from them and puts it in your hands. It puts your financial future in your hands. It puts your freedom down the road in your hands. That's what I am pushing for. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. May this dip not even happen? That's possible. It's possible. I've always said one of these days they're going to manipulate the price down, and it's not going to come down. They're going to have people ready to buy the dip in huge quantities. Who will it be? Maybe it will be a government. Maybe it will be China. Maybe it will be Tesla. Who knows who it will be, but they'll be ready. Because here's what almost always happens. As soon as those shorts clear, you see the price run right back up higher. And because of that, you want to be ready to pick up yours when you have the opportunity. I'm hoping to be able to pick up an order of 100 ounces. If things get really interesting, I may pick up 100 ounces in the $32 range. We'll say, for example, $32.50. If the price continues to fall to $31, I may put another 100-ounce order in. Does it matter? No. I told you guys, I contacted my credit card. My credit card said, we'll give you 0% on new purchases between now and 365 days. At the end of that 365 days, your credit balance will revert to a 29% interest. Here's the thing. I just started this a month and a half ago when I told you guys I was buying on credit. It's not recommended, but I don't follow recommendations. I do what I think is right for myself, for my family, for my future, and so that's what I'm going to keep going with. And I think people need to consider that too. I'm not going to lie, debt is bad. Debt is bad. However, if you've got something solid, then I personally don't think it's bad. But because I'm saying that, this definitely ain't financial advice. Why? Because anybody that would tell someone to charge something would be a bad financial advisor. because they'll tell you that's bad. Oh, but they don't mind putting big screen TVs on credit. They don't mind putting some Black Friday sale on credit, or some Christmas present, or some new car, or some overpriced item that you really don't need, so you can keep up with the people that really don't care. The truth of the matter is, gold and silver is sound money. It always has been, and it always will be. And the fact that they've manipulated silver to make it seem like it's worthless is just their way of fooling you. And once they all of a sudden start, then it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting once they let the price go up, how high it will go up. I had people say it can never go up to $100. Do you really think it could hit $50? I think it could hit $50 within a year from today. Mark my words. Will it happen? It's not a guarantee, but once the price breaks through 50, and it's doing a really good job holding above 35 right now, which is pretty surprising. But I think we'll be in the $35 range before the week closes out. Next week, I think with the Fed meeting, we may even see it dip a little bit lower if they don't cut rates. Why? Because if they don't cut rates, that means they're doing the responsible thing. Well, as responsible as we're going to get. Because the responsible thing would be skyrocket interest rates and pull a Paul Volcker. Paul Volcker jacked the interest rate up to, 20%? Why did he do that? He did that because he needed people to stop spending money. Stop basically just buying everything. We were experiencing rapid inflation, and right now we're not experiencing rapid inflation, but prices are still going up. You're just not quite seeing it, and you will see it. A lot of businesses can't raise their price every day of the week. I actually know one business, it's a restaurant. They just went up on their prices. They went up. Now they have to go up again, but they can't because it would look bad if they went up this soon. And that's what's happening. Once you understand that, you understand, hey, I got to get myself some gold and silver. Mark my words, it's going to be an interesting rest of the month. We only have 17 days. And hey, in 17 days, you're going to know if I was right or wrong and which YouTuber directed you to maybe back off a little bit and hold out. Now, I did have someone leave a comment. I just dollar cost average. I'm not worried about day-to-day videos, analytics, all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Dollar cost averaging has proven to work. It's proven to bring in profits. I'm not just looking for profits. I'm looking for absolute cheapest silver I can get my hands on. I'm trying to get weight under my belt. I actually had someone leave a comment one day. He said he wanted his body weight in silver and his age in gold. I found that interesting. It would be an amazing goal, but I'm a pretty big boy. I don't think that's possible for me, but who knows? Maybe someday. With that being said, it's definitely going to be interesting. How long has this video been? 27 minutes, right on time. With that being said, I'm going to start wrapping up here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you hit the thumbs up button. It's been slow. It's been slow. I've been stuck at this 14,840 for a while now, almost over a month, stuck at this number. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit of a jump. If you have Facebook and you can share this video or a video, although this ain't going to be an exciting video because I'm telling you the price is coming down. Now the exciting one is going to be when I tell you at the end of the month how the price is going to go up in 2 weeks. And you will have that video, mark my words. Once 4th of July weekend comes and goes, you're going to see a run up after that on silver, I believe. And here's what's going to make it so interesting. Because we're in the middle of summer. If we go through summer without seeing a devastating pullback in the price of silver, that's it. The summer is when silver should be the cheapest. What's that going to say for when the winter months come or when the fall comes? That's going to say that we're going to experience some fun. And those of you that have been stacking are going to get excited and exciting. Some of y'all have been waiting for years, tens of years for this. It's coming. It's at hand. The prices are going to go up. I wouldn't recommend selling your whole stack overnight if the price skyrockets. Trade some in for gold. Gold's safe. But if not, and you need a little bit of money, you want to buy a piece of land, you want to buy a new car, sell some. I wanted to buy a new truck last year. And I decided instead I was going to buy a little bit of gold with that same amount of money that I had set aside. Well, now that gold's worth like 50% more. And essentially, That truck is still right around the same price. Well, if I was to get the New Year's model, I should say. So once you understand that, that's why I'm pushing back my purchases now so I can get better down the road. So with that being said, and if stuff really does crash and the silver and gold start skyrocketing, I'll be picking up someone else's used truck at a quarter of the price. So with that being said, check out some of these other great videos. I do a video every Monday through Friday right now. Plus, I try to get some shorts up when I can. The shorts I know some people don't really like because they're only 1-minute videos. Sometimes they're funny videos. This was kind of funny. I was eating at a restaurant on the water, and the table next to me, a seagull flew in and took all their leftovers off the thing. Sometimes I show pickups. Sometimes I talk prepper. Sometimes I just show my lunch. And yeah, that ain't ramen noodles that day. That day it was a good lunch. So a lot of cool videos. Oh, this was a cool one. I hit $127 on a 50-cent bet. That was pretty cool. Superman round, poker tournament, a lot of cool stuff, but hard to get a lot of good information in 1 minute. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you hit the thumbs up button. Hope you left me a comment, even if it's just something as short as good morning, thanks T, whatever, because it does help the algorithm. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.